let's just get right down to it, shall we? Let's talk about Monday Night Raw, which started off with Vincent Kennedy McMahon in the ring looking dapper and looking very, very sharp, if you ask me. He welcomes Stephanie McMahon and Triple H to the ring for a historic announcement. WWE's very first all-women, exclusive women exclusive pay-per-view event called Evolution. There's going to be 50 competitors during this match, this pay-per-view, sorry. They say the Raw Women's Championship is going to be defended. The SmackDown Women's Championship is going to be defended. The NXT Women's Championship is going to be defended. And that is a nice touch, but an even nicer touch is that the finals of the Mae Young Classic are going to take place on that show as well. This show's going to be wild. Let's unpack this a little bit let's unpack this announcement before we move on. Let's be honest there, this is a fantastic move by WWE. I am all for this. It really has the potential to be an excellent evening of wrestling, showcasing the women as they should be. Really a showcase of everything that WWE does for women's wrestling. The mute's not working. What if I do this and then I come down? See, I don't understand. There we go. So it's, no more distractions. It's earned, it's deserved. Triple H's sentiments, I echo them. His part of the speech was felt much more sincere, much more earnest than Stephanie, who just stuck to talking points. Did he even choke up a little bit when he was saying, that every night you steal the show? You could feel that this was really, really important to him. So this is a big deal. I think it's okay to be just plain happy about this. And I think it's important. And it's important to stay optimistic. But at the same time, I think it's also it's still fair to be queasy a little bit, to feel a little strange in regards to gender equality and how they're pushing it. Let's not forget that they sold their principles of promoting gender equality by setting up a pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia for a cash grab, for a big cash grab. They had no problem setting their views on gender equality aside for that, because there was a lot of money involved. I think that's a fair criticism, and I think it's fair to keep that in mind. I'm convinced that the women are going to absolutely tear the house down. It's going to be a wild evening, for sure. But I also think it's fair that we have a certain level of apprehension, or at least something that just stays in the back of our head so that we don't entirely forget. This is so that the event doesn't come across as just entirely just whitewashing. Oh yeah, we did the show in the country where women aren't considered equal as men. Sure, fine. But look, we're giving the girls their own pay-per-view, so we're cool now, right? It's cool, but you there's certain things about the past that do stick. You can't erase the past. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, because I think this is a great event. It's important to just remember that. And remember one thing, right? Criticism usually comes from a place of love. If I sit here behind this microphone in front of this camera and talk about WWE and how they're not living up, and I've talked about how they're not living up to expectations, and how, this event feels a little weird nonetheless, considering what they did with the Greatest Royal Rumble and so on and so on. It's not from anger, it's not from rage, it's not from frustration. I don't hate WWE, all the opposite. I love wrestling, and I want everyone in wrestling to do well, and I want them to do good. And WWE is the only wrestling company in the world right now that is in a position to do good. So I hold them to a higher standard than I will most other companies, because they are a vector for change, because they have the mainstream attention. They have the money to pull this stuff off. I'm not hating. And I'm not trying to dig up the past. This comes from a place of love because I really think WWE can hold itself up to higher standards. Did you see Nikki Cross, by the way, during that? She was there. I'm sure you saw her because she lit up the screen. She was completely starstruck, and it was amazing. She just glowed. That smile, those eyes. She was somewhere between the Nikki Cross character and legit butterflies and excitement. She was in I'm so happy to be here mode. It seems to me it'd be funny. It would have been funny. Like, you know, everyone is up there and Nikki Cross is in the front row, right? And Triple H grabs his mic, starts his thing, starts to say, and he goes, "Hey," and he points to Nikki Cross and he sees her and he's, "What is she doing here? Who let her in the building? You're not supposed to be here. Yeah, get her out," you know, kind of thing. And then that sort of becomes Nikki Cross's like introductory angle. You know, she sneaks into the event. She sneaks into SmackDown and, you know, goes up into the you know, up to Paige. She's in Paige's office, you know, standing around, and Paige's like, "Who are you?" And, you know, she's in the background and she gets kicked out. And they do the same thing on Raw where she involves herself in a match. You know, she walks down to the ring with I don't know, Sasha and Bailey or something like that, and then get her out of here. What is she doing here? I really think that would have been a lot of fun. You know, her introductory storyline being, you know, she thinks she's a member of the roster because she can sneak into the building.